Welcome back. So it's time to talk politics, and this is one part, where we're always, enthusiastic because it gives all of the happenings give us a major talking points on the program, and in fact offset. So we're focusing on opposition politics. It appears that many times the main opposition party now, debatably so now, each time they take one step forward, something happens and it's as if they take two steps backward. So now that the PDP, well, one faction of the PDP or one group of the PDP has resolved to hold its national convention next month. And indeed, one championing that cause is the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, who has said, hold me responsible if this does not happen. There are proposals amid all of that for a new national chairman, for which northern elders in the party have decided it will be zoned to Nigeria's north. So names are popping up, but it appears as if there is a disagreement that is trailing that as well within the rank and file of the PDP. So what's the implication of this for the national convention of the party that is coming up next month? Will PDP make progress, or has the party exited that stage where there can be hope for, or any hope for, the revival of the party? These are key issues that we're reviewing this morning on the program, but not forgetting also that contention at the courts on whether this national convention slated for November 8 should hold in the first place. So we're going to be having all of that questions put through our guest today on the program, who joins us virtually. Let's welcome Honorable Ghana. Yes, indeed. Honorable Joshua Ghana is a member representing Lavon Mokwa, Dati Federal Constituency of Niger State. And he's also the Chairman House Committee on Power. Thank you for joining us, Honorable Ghana, on the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
So let me start by asking, based on the subjects that we used to set the tone, where are you on the proposal for the appointment of the new national chairman to come from the Northwest? There's a particular name that has come up, Mr. Turaki from the North. Where are you in this one?
Thank you very much. Well, our party have various organs where such decisions are made, and we go to convention to debate on such decisions, and hopefully the right decision by the people and for the people and members of the party on the floor of voting of the National Convention will decide that this is the best way to go. Between the zones, they have already met in their various meetings and decided that the chairmanship should be zoned, or micro-zoned as we call it, to the Northwest. And the North Central, who would have agitated to say it must remain in the North Central, given that Dr. Ayu was the chairman at the time, have accepted that it goes to the Northwest at this time, given the next political rounds that we hope to go into. So, yes, they've decided on Tanimu Turaki SAN, but then that's not the final decision body. That is decision makers saying, if we go this way, one of the potential people that would like to see moving the party forward is in the person of Turaki SAN. But it doesn't stop and it doesn't negate all the people from that zone to come, because we have different groups. They can come and make their own submissions. And by the time they go to the party screening committee, if they are screened and allowed to go to convention, and then the voters will decide at convention. So it's not full and final. It's a decision taken by the Governors Forum and other party leaders to say this is the way to go, moving our party forward.
Honorable Ghana, there are issues that has been plaguing the party, and I want to bring it explicitly to you and what you think the party can do. One of the reasons why it appears to us that some Nigerians may not be taking the PDP seriously, besides the gale of defection, is the PDP's inability to hold itself to account and discipline itself. So I'll give you a simple example. And unfortunately, the names have to come up all the time. So I'm going to call names this time because it's part of the reasons why these issues are happening. And how do you think it can be handled? There is a trend of amorphous politics going on in the PDP. So there's Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, who has contributed significantly to the PDP. We must not deny that. But he works with the APC government and will support the president in the coming election. He's not hiding that. But he's trying to call the shots for the PDP as far as the PDP is concerned. That's one hand of the amorphous politics that the PDP has not been able to find its way around. I don't know whether they don't know what to do. There's also the governor of Akwa Ibom State who has defected, Pastor Umoino, who in some of his remarks will say, look, he's not going to just let the PDP in his state just come and shock him. So his eyes are still there. So we also hear that there's an agitation by some caucus in the Southeast where they are saying that the nomination of a female woman leader is perhaps coming from the former PDP governor, who is now an APC governor, Peter Mba, who they feel like a APC governor is now trying to nominate candidate for woman leader for PDP. So you can see it's just I don't know what to use as a word, but you get the picture of what I'm trying to talk about. Members of PDP who are working for the APC, and members of APC who are still trying to control the PDP. How do you want to walk out of this? How is the PDP trying to walk out of this?
All right, we can't, if we look historically on how these, even the APC that came in to become the ruling party, it was by movements of leaders in PDP at a convention to go and strengthen the APC and bring in someone from the north at the time to become the president. And we all know the history of how that worked, that President Jonathan had to only do one term. And in order not to allow Nigerians suffer from the practices of some leaders, he decided to go back home and allow the new elected government to come into authority. And we have seen the performance of that government that led to the current one we are in now. Now, if is the movement of these decision leaders, they're forgetting that is the party's platform that gave them the opportunity in life to be flag bearers, to become whatever they became in the party, in their states, at the federal level, at the state level or local government level. All of them, you can see their political trajectory because the PDP gave them that platform. So forgetting the platform that brought you into leadership, forgetting the platform that are giving you the opportunity, and deciding to frustrate that platform for personal interest or personal gain is the indiscipline of individuals and not the party. And so, for me, where the party might have gone wrong is in the past, the party leadership appoints a disciplinary committee. And when things of party members happen like this, we submit those memos to the disciplinary committee, and they go into action and make recommendations that will be read out, and then they can enforce. So it's the same problem of Nigeria. We have good laws. We have the agencies, lack of enforcement. We have a good party, founded long ago before APC even ever emerged. APC doesn't have any roots. APC is just the making, once one or two men leave the APC, it's over. But the PDP has its organs and its roots. And because of how it's well rooted and it has allowed people to grow into their leadership, they are now playing games to hinder others to grow through that same system, which is uncalled for, which is sad. And we, the younger generation, are watching and we're saying these are the kind of things we will not allow when our own time comes.
But if you're
people forget that their time will come and pass.
But Honorable Ghana, if you're saying that those people who are, working to destabilize the party had benefited from the party, and it was the party that made them who they are today and they've forgotten the past, are you demanding the same moral high ground and accountability from the managers of the leadership of your party? Some are saying they're beholden to certain people who are holding the party by the jugular, and they have compromised. So by extension, I'm asking, what is your assessment of the current leadership of the party, and how much of what it has done has contributed to the instability within the PDP today?
Okay, you see, majorly the focus has been on what is happening at the national level of the party. But if you go to our state chapters, local government chapters, they have obeyed the principles of the model the party has grown over the years. We have no problems at that level. Everybody knows it's the turn of another person. These are the people in leadership. It was done freely, it was done fairly, and all parties were carried along to come to that decision. So we don't have the problems at the local government. We're going to local government elections this week in my state, for instance, and our candidates are campaigning as we speak. No problem.
Honorable Ghana,
going to the state ones.
Honorable Ghana, pardon me,
Yes.
you're not particularly answering my question.
Yes,
let me be more pointed. What's your assessment of the Umar Damagum-led leadership approach and style of the party, and how much of what he has done in the last 1 year, 2 years has contributed to the instability of the party?
Well, I think if I want to talk directly, there were pointers that different leaders in that National Working Committee were controlled or loyal to certain players and decision makers. And because of protecting such interests, they seem to look weak in decision making. They seem to look weak in implementation. And it is clear, yes, you cannot hurt those that supported you to get somewhere. I didn't get to where I am because I'm Joshua Ghana. I got because the electorate trusted me to represent them. And so I'll do everything in my power not to hurt the electorate. So these leaders also don't want to hurt those who have supported them to get to where they are. But then there are principles of the office, there are principles and the laws of our party, there are manifestos, there are things that we must follow so that the party remains strong for the people and disciplined enough so that new entrants know that they'll be treated in fairness, in equity, and justice. And so, yes, it might look that way, and that's why we are going to the highest decision body of our party, which is the National Convention. The National Convention ground will help us to re-decide and re-elect people that we feel can take the party forward. And so, in my opinion, they have done the best they can within the space as an opposition party that was supported by decision makers and leaders to where they were. But now, we must go back to the principles to which PDP was founded. It's power to the people. Let the people who are delegates, who are representing we the poor in the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, decide who will be their leaders in the party moving forward.
All right, Honorable Ghana, so begin to wind down. Let me ask you a straight question. Do you see the PDP surviving 2027 two ways? Now, this convention is still a contentious issue, and sometimes when I look at what's happening in the PDP, it's amusing. The Supreme Court has made judgments about parties. There are only, the Supreme Court says if it has to do with leadership and membership of a political party, please don't come near our court. But if it has to do with nominations and all of that, Section 84, subsection 15 also, you can come to our court. But time and again, a politician will say, I'm holding on to a court judgment that says this, does that about my membership or the leadership. The same court that say don't come. So sometimes it's just a mess of a situation. So what do you make of the fate of the PDP in 2020? Do you think the PDP will be able to field a candidate for this election in 2027?
Yes, I feel very strongly that we'll be able to field candidates at all levels of the People's Democratic Party. It is even in the interest of the APC and for their own legitimacy to make sure that there are candidates in PDP to defeat. If they allow those that are going about trying to stop the PDP to be organized to get to it, Nigerians will revolt against APC-led government. The only way they can be legitimized is that PDP has 8 strong candidates in the field, and let's go and debate, let's go and campaign and bring the best out of all to come into leadership. But sir, I would like to say, the same way you think these great investors have invested in the party and must be consulted and be carried along, I am privileged to be from one of the founding families of the PDP. And I remember the days of G18, where I was a messenger boy, because in the dark days of the military, you couldn't use landlines to pass your information, so we had to pass information by hand. So I was one of those young boys that would drive his car, sent to another politician and with a handwritten note on the next location for a meeting. We have seen those founding fathers contributing their little 15 naira, 35 naira at that time to put up that fight against military rule and brought about civilian rule that many of us who have passed XYZ, whether president, whether local government chairman, came out of that struggle and the sweat of the little contributions of those leaders. The PDP allows every member to contribute to his party at the local, at our ward levels. People make contributions at our local government level. People make contributions, and that's how we fund our party. So when somebody comes as a big investor, it doesn't mean you, as you are investing in that organization, you become an owner of the organization. No, the owners are those that will still look at the issues, debate on the issues, and make things fair enough for everyone to come and play in. So we thank those who have invested in all of us very much in the party. They will always be part of the party and moving forward, but there are wheels that we can never go in. Number one, we cannot go against the will of God. Number two, you cannot go against the will of the people. When the will of God and the will of the people go against any system, money will fail, investment will fail, and the will of God and the people will go forward. And so I use this platform to call the conscience of our leaders. We appreciate you. We're not throwing them away. They've invested. But these are the platforms that people like me and many others who Nigerians are looking forward to seeing at the polls. Don't remove it because of your personal aggrandizement or personal grievance. We have plenty bodies within our party for reconciliation to carry everyone along. Why are we going to the court and not going to the committees for reconciliation, where we can talk to ourselves and correct ourselves and apologize to ourselves and move forward together?
All right. And we hope that, you know, the PDP will resort to that alternative means of reconciliation. But you talked about investment and you've thanked those who have invested in the party. But speaking of party funding now, there are other names that have come up, you know, in the interest for the chairmanship position of the party at the national level. And some of those names are, besides Dr. Tanimu Turaki, there's also former Kaduna Governor Ahmed McCarthy. There's also former Governor of Jigawa, Sule Lamido. Of these names, which do you think can stand up to the former governor of Rivers State, who is said to be the major funder, financier of your party currently?
Okay, well, is there evidence anywhere that is the major funder of People's Democratic Party? That's my question one. Number two is that from the model is the sacrifices of each member that has been the business model of funding People's Democratic Party. So if you are well without and you give XYZ amount, it does not negate the small one that I contribute at my own party level. It's all these contributions that fund our party. But yes, we know some have held wealth and have higher offices and they have invested more. We appreciate it. It has not gone down. Some of those investments are the ones that gave me a platform to get elected. And I will never go against such persons or abuse such persons. They are our leaders in the party. But we're saying, if that is the highest investor that it takes the tone, that is not healthy for the People's Democratic Party. We will honor you, we will respect you, we will consult with you, we will carry you along, but please allow the system that brought you up by your contributions that you started as your little level before you came to your high level to continue so that every Nigerian can participate in our party. And so within the three people you have said, they have all been former, two of them have been former governors, one a former minister, and we have seen their performance. And if they're all from the Northwest, at the convention ground, we'll decide who's the best to lead us moving forward. And so,
but
people making it against former Governor Wike is not the issue. There are others who have given as much as he has, but are silent.
All right, Honorable.
There are others that are giving much more than he has done, and they're not saying anything, but I just believe that the principles that which brought them up in the party will thrive.
All right, Honorable, let's talk about, if we have time, we'll come back to politics. I wanted to make sure that we highlighted your chairmanship, your committee, that's as a chairman of the Committee on Power, just before we wrap up.
Point of order. I'm deputy chairman. I have a chairman over me.
Yes.
I'm deputy chairman.
Okay, you're deputy chairman. Okay, thank you for that correction. So let's talk about the role that the legislature is playing to ensure that, because power is a critical infrastructure that is required. In fact, when they talk about the tripod of how development comes, infrastructure, production, and human capital development, power is at the center of infrastructure, power infrastructure, as you would like to call it in this sense. But we've been bedeviled by what you know, the epileptic power supply. We've seen some improvement in certain areas, then we have all this band A, band B, band, all the bands. In your view and assessment, when committee members have conversation with the Ministry of Power and the people in charge of this sector, what exactly comes up as the biggest challenge, and how is the legislature doing to ensure that we scale up? We have installed capacity of over 13,000 megawatts. We're doing barely between 4 to 6 when we have a good day.
All right. Thank you. That's a very, very good question. I must say, as Parliament, where everybody knows about the Electricity Act 2023 that we passed, that allows and liberates the sector for other people to come in at different levels, at the state level and at the national level, to invest in the power sector and solve their problems. Electricity investment is very exorbitant. It's expensive. And so one budget year, 2 budget years cannot fund electricity. You must have an intervention model or probably loan to pay over time to invest in the power sector. Now, our major problem is transportation of power. And then, as they've praised the current administration of unifying the exchange rate, removing the fuel subsidy, we also desire in that sector to unify the denomination for payments in the power sector. And let me explain this. All of us that are metered pay in Naira for power. But if a gas turbine is being fueled by gas, the gas payments are in dollars. And so the same problem we are having in the exchange market that we try to unify, the same problem we have in subsidy, the sector for the petroleum industry that we try to unify, has not happened in the power sector. And so to pay for gas, you are taking there to go and bid for dollars to pay for your source of fuel. So you already started having a problem for stable supply of fuel to your gas-fired power stations. Number two, the weakness of our national grids, transporting power from place of production of power to place of consumption of power. The transporter is very weak, which is our national grid. So it cannot go beyond what you have heard over the years. We don't go beyond a certain amount of power because we're hindered by the weakness
all right, Honorable.
of
Yes.
the power sector.
Yeah, Honorable,
Yeah.
so we're totally out of time.
All
I must
right.
apologize. Of course, maybe today we brought you to talk politics today, but we just need to chip this in. Maybe we'll bring you another time.
I'll give you the reality of what's happening.
Yes,
Yes,
no, I
yes,
understand.
I
No.
can tell you.
No, it's okay. We're saying that we'll come another time to talk about your committee. That's what I mean. Not as if what you said is wrong.
Okay, I look forward to it. I look forward to it, yes. Thank you very much.
And speaking of which, there's also the oversight concern as well. So we look forward to that time in the future. Honorable Joshua Ghana is a member representing Lavun Mokwa Edati Federal Constituency of Niger State, and also the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Power. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Indeed. And so from this point, we move on to financial and economic matters. What were the ingredients, or if you like, actions that took Nigeria off the FATF list as a Financial Action Task Force list? And what does this mean for subsequently investor sentiment and confidence? Stay with us for this next one. We'll be right back.